Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Autograph Hound, and we are examining another autograph. And this was actually a very happy accident, and I'm going to explain why. This, as you can probably figure out, comes from Barnes& Noble. It was one of Barnes& Noble's Black Friday deals, and, because it's got the sticker and everything. Now, here's what's interesting. Barnes& Noble advertised that the book was going to be signed by the author, Fraser Moore. As you can see, Fraser Moore wrote this art book. It does have a foreword by Seth MacFarlane, but this is the guy who worked on the book. And as a result, they advertised that. Now, that's fine. I mean, I wasn't sure if I wanted to get it at that point, but, so when I went to buy the autograph books on Black Friday, which we do every year, this wasn't even on my radar to get. It just wasn't, because no offense to Fraser Moore, but I figured that wasn't going to sell out particularly fast, and I wasn't particularly interested in having an autograph. Again, no offense to Mr. Moore, he does a good job, but, it's just one of those things I'm sure he understands. And yet, when I looked at it on Black Friday, something was a little off, and we'll see if you can see what it is. Now, remember, this is supposed to be an autograph for Fraser Moore. Now let's open this, and right from the get-go, on the autograph page, you will see it's a limited signed edition. So I love these books that actually have a page dedicated to the autograph that pretty much says that, this is an authentic thing and it's verified for that reason. But the first thing that stood out was, of course, that the autograph was up here when it should be down there. That looks really funky. But then I looked a little closer at the autograph, and it dawned on me, that's not an F. That's an M, but that's an A. There's no A and more. And then when you looked at here, it's an SETH, and that's when I put this back and was like, oh my gosh, this is let's actually put this here so we can keep it open. This is a Seth MacFarlane autograph, and I bought the 3 books that were there, and yeah, very, very excited. And for the record, yes, those other books have already been given away / sold. I mean, I am perfectly willing to admit that I do buy extra copies of signed books from authors that will be in particular demand, and I resell them. Everybody works out. Barnes & Noble sells extra books. I make a little bit of money, and it gives me the funds I need to buy the extra autographs for me to keep that I will not sell. But this was a very, very happy accident. And here's the thing, Seth MacFarlane, a big guy. I remember years ago, one of my first Comic-Cons, I went to try to meet Seth MacFarlane. He was doing a signing, but they were doing something, interesting. They were doing a pay to meet him thing where it's you paid $100 and you would get a lithograph signed by MacFarlane. It was a Stewie Griffith, by the way. And in hindsight, that would have been a great $100 to spend. But I was also 16 at the time. $100 was a lot of money for a kid, so I didn't do it. And now I was able to get a signed autograph, a signed Family Guy book for about 40. Granted, I didn't get to meet him, of course, but that was still pretty cool. Now, one thing that's nice about this autograph is that you can actually clearly read it. In fact, here's the thing. The fact that you can clearly read it is what really tips you off that this is not Fraser Moore that signed it. This is Seth MacFarlane. And that's always nice when you can read the autograph. And this is a nice book. I mean, I've actually flipped through the book. I mean, art books are, an art in and of themselves. They release tons of them. They're always in hardcover. They're almost never in paperback. And, art books are kind of like a nice little sneak peek into the show or the movie and what they were thinking when they were going to design it. And this is no different. It shows early designs of the cast and characters, and oh boy, am I glad they didn't make certain decisions about the show that they were thinking of doing and then ultimately didn't. I think the final designs, simplistic as they are way more appealing on the eyes. So here's what's interesting about this, though. This is still being sold on barnesandnoble.com autographed copies, and it still claims that Fraser Moore is the author who signed it. And that makes me wonder, are some of these books signed by Fraser Moore and some of them Seth MacFarlane? That's the big mystery I've never been able to figure out. Because there might be a situation where they have signed books of these, people buy them thinking they're getting Fraser Moore, and they might get a Seth MacFarlane. But then there might be some people who are getting these books, and it's Fraser Moore. I would think that Barnes& Noble would want to advertise that it's Seth MacFarlane signing the books. That would be a much, much bigger draw to getting people to buy these things. And yet, to this day, they're still saying Fraser Moore signed the books, and they're still selling them, which makes me wonder if some of them actually are signed by Fraser Moore, and I just happened to get lucky that my Barnes & Noble got some Seth MacFarlane signed copies. Admittingly, I haven't been going to all the Barnes & Nobles and comparing, mainly because other Barnes & Nobles, when I was doing like my autograph shopping, didn't have this book. In fact, interestingly, though, the Barnes & Noble near my house had this book, other Barnes & Nobles near my house didn't have this book. They never even got this, or they got one copy and it was sold. So I have no idea if it's even Seth MacFarlane signing it, or it's interesting. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's just a very interesting situation. So here's, obviously, I'm going to keep this. This is going to be like a treasured book, and yeah, this was a happy surprise for me. Now, for all of you, have any of you had a situation where you bought this book at Barnes & Noble, and did you get Seth MacFarlane as well? Or did you actually get Fraser Moore? Is my suspicion that some of the books are signed by Seth and some of them are signed by Fraser true? I would love to know. So comment in the comments below what you think of this. Confirming or denying this information, giving me your own personal experience. I'd love to know. So yeah, comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.